What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second video of today, or the first, or the third, depending on which order you're watching it. In this video, we're going to be talking about Odell Beckham and how, as of yesterday, Easter Sunday, he is now a Baltimore Raven. We're going to talk about what this means for Odell, what this means for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, and what this means for the receivers in the upcoming NFL draft class. But before we get into that, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 100, hoping to hit that the night of the draft. Speaking of the draft, as you guys probably know, because I mentioned it 100 times, I will be live streaming the draft April 27th, the first round. So come by, check it out. Let's have all fun together. Taken out of context, that sounds really weird, but let's go ahead and get into Odell Beckham. So starting with Odell, he signed a 1 year, up to $18 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens. It had been kind of in limbo for over a year now, I would say, of where Odell's going to sign after it was discovered, probably about, I'd say, a better part of 7, 8 months about where he was going to sign after it was, you know, proclaimed that he was back from his ACL and that he was all good. We saw some teams last year potentially sign him. We heard the Giants be floated around, the Jets, the Bills, not the Jets. I'm sorry. We've heard the Jets now, but we've heard the Bills, the Dallas, the Giants, and then as of recently, we've been hearing the Jets, all that type of stuff. And honestly, that's probably where I would have put my money on. But kind of shocked a lot of people. I know he shocked me by signing with the Ravens. So for Odell, it's a 1 year deal. I think that this is kind of it's one of those prove it deals where he is gonna hopefully ball out this year, prove that he's back to being Odell, and then he can go on after this year and get that big contract that he's been wanting. I think the way he was looking at the market, he kind of saw that he wasn't going to get that long term deal. Obviously, there's uncertainty. Back with his knee, he hasn't played since he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So teams really don't know kind of where he's at. So this is a good litmus test to see what he can do. Also, he's in a receiver needy offense. The Ravens desperately needed a wide receiver, and Odell coming in, he can be wide receiver one pretty much right away. So good for him. He won't have to go to the Bills and compete with Stephon Diggs or compete with CeeDee Lamb in Dallas. He's probably going to be the guy. Him and Rashad Bateman are the guys in Baltimore. So it's good for Odell, and I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping for the best. I think if he could put up a 1,000 yard season, that'll be a real win for him. And so I would love to see that. Now, in terms of the Ravens as a team, I think this is very good news as well because I don't think Odell would have signed if he did not think Lamar was going to play at the very least this year. Like I said, he probably doesn't care in the years past, but for this one particular year, he does probably want Lamar as his quarterback. And they saw the FaceTime of Lamar and Odell on FaceTime, the screenshot or whatever. So it seems like Lamar is very happy about it. And again, at this point, you had to just be as delicate with Lamar as possible. It's clear that a long-term contract extension is nowhere near where they want it to be right now. But to hear that Lamar is going to at least play this year, that buys the Ravens some time, and it hopefully allows Lamar also to play really well and prove he's worth that big deal. So I think it's good news for Lamar and the Ravens. The Ravens and Lamar are together, are married, going to be for at least another year. With Odell, coming in being, the Ravens' biggest need, they've needed a receiver for a lot of years. Um, Again, I think this makes Lamar happy because it helps him. Having a good wide receiver, would help any quarterback, obviously. So I think Lamar's happy about it. But I think at the end of the day, Lamar, the whole situation is still a ticking time bomb. And I think they just reset the clock another year. I think we're going to go through this again next offseason and everything like that. So um, it's probably a minuscule win and more so buys him time than anything. So, but anyway, um, that's that. And I also did want to talk about, the receiver draft class. Ever since the Odell deal signed, I've been reading some news that perhaps the receiver draft class isn't what we think it is. Maybe teams don't value these guys as highly as we thought they did. And as such, the Ravens, who are in a position to have taken one of the best, 3 or 4 wide receivers at I think 22, yeah, 22, somewhere in that range where they're sitting at. Um, they're in a position to take one of the pretty good receivers, and it seems like they're foregoing that at least in the immediate future to go ahead and sign Odell. So perhaps these guys aren't as highly rated, highly touted as we thought they were, and perhaps some of these guys were going to slip down in the draft. But that's kind of my thoughts on Odell. I'll give the deal a B because I think it's a lot of money, but I'm guessing most of it is incentive laden. And so if he hits those benchmarks, I do think again they could have used some of that money to sign Lamar, but at the end of the day, Lamar seems to be happy about it. So what's the fuss? I'm gonna give it a B for the Ravens and an A for Odell Beckham for his situation. But what do you guys think of the deal down below? Let me know. I want to hear your opinions. Ravens fans, Ravens flock, let me know what you think. Also, if you're a Ravens fan, go check out TTP Ravens video on it. I know he did at least one live stream, and I'm sure he's done a couple other videos on it. So go check that out down below. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, you handsome studs. Peace out.